it's hard. It's hard to meet the new customers in the construction business.
Yeah.
Because they're all looking, and everybody today is a contractor.
Yeah.
Everybody knows how to finish basements, and everybody knows this, and everybody knows that. So you get this large group of people who know how to do it, but they don't necessarily know how to the process. The process of the job. Whether it's construction or electronics. It's just, I think that's the key, is the process. Finding new customers is probably the most trickiest thing to do.
I remember.
Positively West Virginia is presented by Interaction Media and sponsored by Huntington Bank, Highmark West Virginia, Freedom Key of Morgantown, and Storymaker. With help from our sponsors, we are able to share the positive business stories of West Virginians, including the one featured in today's episode.
Folks, we're visiting today with Travis Lemon. He is with Wise Guys Media. He's got a couple of businesses, actually, but we're going to be focusing primarily on the origin story of Wise Guys Media. Travis, thanks for being on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man, it's great to see you again. I've known you for a number of years now, but I haven't seen you in a while, so it's great to have you here in the studio.
Yep.
I look forward to discussing your origin story, like how you got started and everything. Travis, tell us first about Wise Guys Media and what you do.
So at Wise Guys Media, we're basically a full service electronics company. My passion is home theater, design, just that final product of the theater. That's my passion. I also, I love just the TV world in general, audio, mainly the residential things. Light commercial is really good too, but my passion is really like the residential side.
Yeah, absolutely. And when we think about home audio, video, it's come a long way over the last 30, 40, 50 years. But even now, the last 10 years, and technology and smart TVs and everything like that, I'd love to delve into a little bit about that. But before we do that, what inspired you to get into home theater and home electronics?
And honestly, the inspiration came from being hungry.
Yeah.
I was working at Rex TV. I started selling TVs for Rex TVs and appliances in 2004.
Wow.
And I got transferred to Myrtle Beach, and that was kind of like my the beginning was Rex and the retail, and just interacting with everybody that walks through the door and finding out what it is exactly they need, and then just being able to walk them 10 feet and show it to them and sell it to them, and just being satisfied. But in 2006, got pretty hungry. It just wasn't enough money. I met a wife, and we had our daughter. And I started delivering TVs, and then I had to set it up and plug it in, and $35 is what I would charge, and and then I was able to that's first few months almost double my salary.
Wow, almost like a side hustle.
Absolutely,
it was tied into your career, really.
Yep. Kevin Fry, the general manager.
Oh my gosh,
at the Rex.
I remember Kevin. Yes,
he's still one of my best friends today.
Is that right?
We were not allowed to deliver TVs.
Yeah.
We were not allowed to deliver appliances. But he said, Travis, I understand what it is you're trying to do. Feed your family. I will look the other way. So without Kevin Fry in that picture,
wow,
definitely wouldn't be here today.
Is he still around West Virginia, Kevin?
Yep. He's
cool.
He's down around the Buchanan, Philippi area.
Oh, that's cool.
Has a beautiful place on the river. Just
That's
loves
awesome.
to fish and shoot clay. He's a great guy.
That's really cool. So, you started at Rex in 2004. Here we are 20 years later, and you're still, you're still involved in that industry. And I think it's really cool. And as you're telling the story of that, delivering TV, setting them up, I imagine 20 years ago, that was a little different. It was probably 3 or 4 wires. Now you've got apps and Bluetooth and wireless connectivity and all this stuff.
Yep.
Talk a little bit about, Travis, the technology and where it's come in the last 20 years.
It's came a long way. I still prefer wires.
Mm-hmm.
I still prefer to wire the speakers and try to hardwire the TVs to the internet and try to rely less on Wi-Fi, and let your phones and tablets and things like that, that have to be on Wi-Fi. That's the priority. But if we can hardwire it, try to wire it. But I think the biggest difference is just that, the networking. Now you can wirelessly connect your phone to your TV and watch YouTube. You don't have to use before you had to type in, spell out the word up, down, left, right. Now you just cast it, or you speak into the remote control.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
It's definitely came a long ways.
Yeah, I fancy myself as a audiophile, right? Because I used to have tons of really high end gear.
Mm-hmm.
These days it's small and compact, but you still can get that really beautiful sound. And
you can,
whether it's if you're trying to get surround sound, or if it's just listening to just piano music in the evening, right? Yeah, it's kind of cool how in some of the devices that these days, like Sonos, for instance, that's one of my favorite new products over the last couple of years.
Yes, sir.
And to be able to have these little speakers that make tremendous,
huge,
beautiful music, and be able to interconnect them and have it all on your app. And now those are wired, because you still have to plug them in, right? But it's everything is, it just blows my mind how that works.
Yes.
You could have a Spotify app, for instance, right? Mm-hmm. And have access to all your music in high fidelity. Yeah, my wife got me a Sonos sub for Christmas this year, and I got it, and it's like it fills the whole house.
Yeah,
with
they
just
hit
one
hard.
little speaker.
They hit really hard.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah,
And so anyhow, I'm fascinated by it myself, and it's really cool that you got your start at Rex. For folks listening, that was at the Old Mountaineer Mall.
That's right. Yep.
Here in Morgantown. That's where we're broadcasting this podcast from today, and you just took me back 20 years, and that was kind of cool to reminisce about that. So talk a little bit about Wise Guys today. What are the specific things you guys are known for? Like when somebody thinks Wise Guys, this is what they should think.
So, well, history says when you think Wise Guys Media, they're the best of just simply hanging TVs. Mm-hmm. That's where we started.
That's your start, yeah.
Simply just hanging TVs. We're still the best. We have, all the tricks, all the trades of fishing the walls and doing the wiring, and the heights of the TVs, kind of vary. But, so in my opinion, when somebody thinks Wise Guys, they think, oh, those are the guys that hang TVs. Over the last 5, 7, 8 years, we've gotten into distributed audio. So I would like to think that a lot of people think about those certain little niches, whether it's distributed audio or, home automation with lighting, or, whatever the case is. It seems like every year there's always something new. Yeah. But the biggest part about Wise Guys Media is in 2014, we added Wise Guys Builders, which was, Travis Cold Snow, which was my partner in media, and Houston Strader. And we started Wise Guys Builders. Well, I didn't have time to really do much with builders. That was kind of their thing. And man, they just absolutely ran full speed. In my mind, I'm like, I'm going to give these guys a ball, see if they can, see what comes out of it.
Yeah.
They left me in the dust. I mean, the Wise Guys Builders team, they just took off. Yeah. They built 2 houses in 2015, I think, somewhere in there. And since then, it's like 56, 57 houses.
Wow.
And
that's amazing.
And they use the same mindset as we did in 2014, is keep it simple, keep it clean, answer the phone when there's a problem, and
do the basics,
do
the fundamentals.
That's the key, in my opinion.
I've been saying it for a while, but if you just do the basics these days, it's extraordinary.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because we've somehow along the way, it seemed like to have lost our collective minds when it comes to customer service and business, and like the basic things like you just talked about, and it sounds like you agree with that too.
I absolutely agree.
So that's pretty cool.
Actually, I feel a little off right now because I just put my phone on silent, and I'm scared somebody's going to call and I'm going to need to talk to them.
You said you're going to answer your phone when it rings.
Yes.
Oh, that's great. Well, all right. So if I had to ask you, kind of put you on the spot and give us your, ask you to give us your 30-second pitch, what would it be? What would you say that you guys are, that you do?
My 30-second pitch, I say would be, we're the best, from the moment you call us the first time when we answer the phone. If we don't answer your phone, we're calling back in just a few minutes. We figured out exactly what it is that you need. And we price just that. We don't We don't try to go and sell things that you don't need or don't want. We try to keep it as real and simple as we possibly can. And at the end of the day, the price is always the fairest. May not be the cheapest, may not be the most expensive. I don't really design things based on price. I design things based on, how the end user wants to use it.
Yeah.
Fair prices and service is number one.
That's great.
That's I think that's what has kept me in business. Is every time there's a problem, when there's a problem, I'm there typically the same day or the next day.
Yeah. Now, Travis, when it comes to your customers, are you looking to help people that buy they got the Super Bowl's coming up, right? The big game's coming up. And they bought a new TV. They want this thing hung over the fireplace. Is that a customer prospect for you, or are you wanting to do like new construction where people want the whole distributed audio and TV in every room and all that kind of stuff?
I love both. Yeah, I truly do.
So all customers that need help.
All those customers, the Super Bowl customers, the Final Four customers, all those customers are great. I love them.
I bet you got some stories over the years.
I do. The biggest problem with that is it's always the day before.
Yeah, right.
It's like, I need you to do this by the Super Bowl. And I'm like, well, it's the day before. I know I need you to do it tonight. But I've only not been able to do something, 2, 3, 4 times over the last 10, 15 years.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well, I want to, you've got a business you've been running for multiple years now with Wise Guys. What would you say is the thing you're most excited for right now?
I've been thinking about that. The most exciting thing for me today is just the growth of technology.
Yeah.
It grows so fast. Security cameras is growing huge right now.
Because you guys do security too.
Yep, we do.
Didn't even talk about that yet.
Security alarms. Yeah. We have our own monitoring. We do security cameras, which are growing with facial recognition. Yeah. It used to be nearly impossible to get a license plate from a car. Now it's pretty darn easy.
Zoom right in.
It's already there.
Wow.
4K quality cameras, and they're cheaper than I was selling cameras 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So the technology gets better, grows really fast, and the prices come down.
Yeah. Plus, people, I think, have a hard time adapting to technology. I would imagine like older customers like myself, they probably are like, I got this new thing. I don't even know how to turn the daggum thing on. And that you guys can come in and help people with that too.
Absolutely.
Navigate the technology.
Absolutely.
So so technology is an exciting thing. So I love hearing that. We're going to jump in a little bit more in depth on that because I want to talk a little bit about the technology. But for right now, we're going to take a quick break. We're visiting with Travis Lemon with Wise Guys Media. Folks, we'll be right back.
It started with a road trip. Huntington bankers through big cities and small towns where we met Jane and Dontel and their calendar. Every day predicting the money coming in and the money going out, which gave us an idea. What if we could set up a digital cash flow calendar for their business? So we built it for them. Why? Because we're for people. Huntington, welcome.
Your prescriptions are designed to keep you healthy, active, full of life. At Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield, we're making vital medicine more affordable. Because when your prescriptions don't cost an arm and a leg, you can use those limbs for something more meaningful. Because life. Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield, West Virginia.
All right, folks, we're back. We're visiting with Travis Lemon. Travis is the owner of Wise Guys Media and the Wise Guys Builders. He's got a whole conglomerate of businesses really serving people around West Virginia, especially North Central and over into Western Maryland as well, with home electronic insulation and security and everything related to home electronics. Travis, I mentioned your geographic region. Talk a little bit more about that. Like what specifically, or where are your customers?
My main customers are in the Morgantown, Fairmont area, Clarksburg, Bridgeport.
Yeah.
I like to keep it like that because that keeps my service quick, and I don't, travel a long ways to run a service call.
Yep.
And I do a lot of work in Deep Creek also, at the lake.
Yep.
Some big houses over there.
Garrett County, Maryland.
A lot of service, a lot of rentals. Everybody breaks stuff. It's pretty good over there.
How many folks are on your team?
So daily for me, it's me, one guy, and a secretary.
Yeah.
And Grant's the man. He's my technician. He's the old me. He has the patience for the new technology and able to help customers remember passwords, and that's so he does really good. Couldn't do it without him. And then on the builder side, they got a handful or two of guys that are all over the place. They're running different jobs. And then the same, we share a secretary.
Yeah.
We share a building, and we all just kind of do our own thing and help each other when we need.
Yep. So since you've been in business, what would you say is the thing you're most proud of?
Say the thing I'm most proud of is the relationships that we've built over the time. People. A lot of my customers are now my friends, and a lot of my old friends are now my customers. So I haven't done a whole lot of marketing. It's just all been word of mouth. And it's just from there is where you get your relationships.
Yeah. Yeah. What's your ideal customer look like? You kind of talked a little bit about all the different things you do. What, if you could pinpoint it down to one?
My ideal customer is somebody that knows what they want, and some customers are like, well, I want to put speakers. I'm like, well, what would you like to listen to? Do you listen to Pandora, Spotify? Like those are the key things. You got to figure out what it is that they like. Yeah. And then find out if they want to use Sonos or, I have a Control 4 system that you can listen to anything on. It's like Sonos, except in the same app, we can turn your lights on and off, your alarm system.
Very cool.
Thermostats.
Yeah. I mentioned Sonos. Is that something you guys do there?
Yeah. Okay. I'm an authorized Sonos dealer.
Okay, cool. I was hoping that when I said that, I wasn't even thinking that might be a competitor or something.
Oh, no. I'm
so you know what I'm talking about.
That's I do.
Good, that's good stuff.
I love Sonos. I use Sonos at home. My partner's house, we have some Sonos set up just in little areas. We also have Control 4 set up. Yeah. I like them all.
Yeah.
I like them all.
So it's kind of cool that you're able to take your passion and build a business about that.
Yes.
I think a lot of times we find some people can find ourselves stuck in a career where, you're really not that crazy about it. You'd rather be doing something else, but you're in that career path. But you've taken your passion, things that you're interested in and things that you really, truly love to do and made a business about it.
Yes.
I think that's super cool. How many years have you been in business now?
Legitimately since 2007.
Since 2007. Okay. So is there something you wish you could have done over? Like, man, if I would have just done it this way, it would have been a lot easier.
I wish that every day, but I still, the reality is you can't duplicate yourself.
Yeah.
There's nobody else out there like me. There's nobody else out there like you. Yeah. We are who we are. We share the passions. If I could do it all over again, I don't know what I would change. Yeah. I really don't.
It's been a heck of a ride. Sounds like
it's been a heck of a ride for sure.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Yep, ups and downs.
You mentioned, word of mouth, not really doing a lot of marketing. How like growing the business? Like, what's the key to grow in the business? How do you build more customers? How do you attract new customers coming in?
So in my opinion, there's a huge science to it. If the interest rates are up here, you're probably not going to get a whole lot of new customers. So let's focus on some existing customers. Let's focus and make sure that we have all of our I's dotted and our T's crossed and kind of use that time to get back to basics, and meeting some contractors. I really like working for contractors on new construction. Yeah. It's hard. It's hard to meet the new customers in the construction business.
Yeah.
Because they're all looking, and everybody today is a contractor.
Yeah.
Everybody knows how to finish basements, and everybody knows this, and everybody knows that. So you get this large group of people who know how to do it, but they don't necessarily know how to the process, the process of the job, whether it's construction or, electronics. It's just, I think that's the key, is the process. Finding new customers is probably the most trickiest thing to do.
I remember building a house years ago, and like I said, I love audio, I love visual, and when I was trying to build the house, I was talking to the contractor, and he had no idea what I was talking about. I was like, I want these speakers mounted at this level in the wall, and I've got my subwoofer is going to be over here, and I want these ceiling, for the surround, and so I could have used you.
Yes.
That was the fact back before I even knew who you were. But yeah, that would have been a great thing. I could see the value that you bring in, especially with these, with the contractor, right? Because a lot of times they don't know what they're doing, but you come in with the expertise. Like you said, distributed audio. I love that idea.
Yes.
Being able to network things and be able to tie it all in from the ground floor, but also being able to help people with existing homes, or maybe it's a townhouse that they're renting, right? They want to have some stuff going on. You can come in and help them.
Yep.
Navigate the kind of the sea of technology, all the different products. So I guess the thing that kind of strikes me about what you're doing is, when you started back in 2004, TVs were pretty simple. Audio systems were pretty simple. You walked into a retail store and you picked something up and took it home.
Yes.
Nowadays, people are ordering online. They don't even know when they get it in, they don't even know how to hook the stuff up.
Yeah. That's the do-it-yourself era is huge. I don't blame anybody for not trying it themselves. I mean, I feel like everybody should at least try to.
It helps you give an understanding of
absolutely
how it all works, right?
Yep. And I've even assisted with somebody buying their stuff on Amazon, and I'll go out and tell them what to do and how to do it. Maybe give them some wire, give them some pointers, or whatever. I do that for free all day. I don't. Because I know one day they're going to call me. They're going to need something. They're going to need help, or they'll mess something up.
Yeah. Well, you become the expert in the room.
Yes. Right.
That's really cool. Folks, we're going to take another quick break to mention our sponsors for Positively West Virginia. We're visiting with Travis Lemon with Wise Guys Media. We'll be right back.
Whether Freedom Kia showroom or within our community, helping others is part of our mission, and 2023 has been no different. Committed to the community and committed to our customers with fair pricing, excellent sales and service, and no hidden fees. Right now, get $3,500 off the 2023 Kia Sorento. A community that works together, thrives together. Visit Freedom Kia today, right off exit 153 on I-79 in Morgantown, or check out www.freedomkia.net.
My name's Caitlin Furby. I'm an interior designer with Remarkable Interiors. Our time is very limited. We're trying to do everything we can possible to keep our clients' projects moving and rolling. So Storymaker has been really great for us for putting out how to explain our company. I can sit and agonize about a post. And is this right? Does this sound good? When I use Storymaker, it sounds so beautiful, and it was so easy, and it saves me a lot of time to do the things that I'm really good at.
And we're back, folks. We're visiting today with Travis Lemon. He is the owner of Wise Guys Media and Wise Guys Companies, if you will, Wise Guys Builders, and other things that they do. Travis, what's the vision you have long-term for Wise Guys?
Long-term vision, Team Wise Guys is what we could call it, because there's Wise Guys Media, there's Wise Guys Security, Wise Guys Builders. The future would be, building bigger houses and integrating the media, the electronics into those big houses. That was my passion back in the B&I days. Was I want to be the one-stop shop. I want to be the guy that finishes the basement and puts the speakers in the ceiling. That's what I wanted to be. Well, now I'm able to be the guy that can build the house, put the security in the house, put the speakers in the house, automate the house. So that's, I just want the houses to get bigger, I guess would be the overall. Very
cool. Well, I think about the advent of like HGTV, and now you got Magnolia Network, right? I mean, they've got a whole, Chip and Joanna Gaines have a whole network of programming. And I think that, do you ever get those calls where people are like, hey, I saw this on, Magnolia or whatever. I have this thing I saw on Pinterest. Is that kind of how it works these days?
Yes. Okay. And that's where Houston at Wise Guys Builders, that's where he comes in, because he gets that all the time.
Yeah.
You know, he'll get a text and then he'll send it to me and say, what do you think about that? And I'm like, I don't even know where to start.
Yeah.
And within 2 hours, he's already got it figured out.
Yeah.
It might not be 100% what the customer had in mind, but it's darn close, and they're able to make the changes and make everybody happy.
Yeah, because you guys are when you're talking about custom homes, which is what Wise Guys Builders is, and custom media solutions for distributed audio or video or whatever, security. That's what it is. It's custom. It's individualized, right? So everything is. I imagine you have to use a lot of creativity in your job.
Yes, a lot of creativity. No job is the same.
Yep.
No house is the same.
Yeah.
So everything's different.
Well, you mentioned homes and residential. Do you also get involved with commercial? Like you go to some of these restaurants these days, like a sports bar or something like that. They got screens everywhere. Are you plugged in with that? That business.
Yeah.
As well?
I do light commercial.
Yeah.
I service the Green Turtles TVs.
Okay.
Actually, I do a lot of that. Security is, security for light commercial is, I get a couple accounts a month. I don't really push that. Probably should push it more, but I really don't. The new alumni, West Virginia alumni store.
Alumni Hall.
Yeah. We did that.
That's really nice. Actually.
Great people to work with. I love that place. Such great people. And they got some nice product in there too.
Yeah, they do. And well, when I think of that store, and as you're describing it, I was in there over the Christmas holidays, 2023, and you're just walking through the store. Excuse me, I can't remember what it was. It was a football game, maybe one of the championships in December for one of the power conferences. And I was able to shop and watch the game and hear it. And I mean, it was like I was watching it in my living room, but I was in a store.
Yep.
And that was you.
Yep, we did all that.
Okay, so that makes a lot of sense. Okay, that makes it gives a visualization for what you actually do in the commercial arena. Yep. That's very cool. Travis, what's something you would like to accomplish this year as we go into 2024?
That's a great question. Last year was bad. Interest rates were outrageous. Product was through the roof as far as the cost of materials.
Yeah.
Hopefully this year things kind of come down as far as material costs. I think what I'm really looking forward to is I want to grow the security company a lot. I think that should be I guess my main focus. Everything else is in place. The automation and stuff, those calls come in. I don't really have to push it. If they're building a new house and they want it, they call. Very seldom do I have to bid on jobs.
Yeah.
I think the security alarm company is what I'm excited about.
How did you come up with the Wise Guys name?
Wise Guys came from Jody Paul. He owns Wise Guys Stone in Elk Garden, West Virginia.
Okay.
And I said, Jody, why did you come up with Wise Guys? He said, well, Bun and Rat Paul and Red Hat and TD and all these country guys. I mean, they are country as they get, and they don't worry about nothing other than making you smile and having a good time. And they're rotten. And I think that's kind of where the Wise Guys name came from. So when I was sitting at Rex TV, it was slow. Nobody was coming in. I had my notepad and I was thinking of names. And so I should just use Wise Guys. So I called Jody, and he's my brother-in-law. And I said, do you mind if I use the Wise Guys name? He said, not at all, not at all. So I used it, and then we did Wise Guys Builders. And now my father has Wise Guys Police Training and Services. And he's retired from University Police of 37 years. And his job now is to educate and provide training for law enforcement across the country.
Wise Guys it is.
Wise Guys it is. And he loves it. He has the passion today that I had in 2007.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's great.
I love it. Travis, you're a leader. You lead people. You lead your company. You lead here in the community, right? Your kids and your family. What do you think is one of the most important attributes of a successful business leader today?
A couple avenues with that. I think for the young people that's wanting to start a business, first thing they got to find is passion, what really is going to wake them up to not necessarily feel like it's my job. It's more of my duty. Find that passion. When you find it, don't try to get rich off of it. Don't try to make $1 million your first year of business. Everybody else comes first. Your bills come first, your payroll comes first, and then some expenses, and then you get to pay yourself what's left. I've seen a lot of companies over the years in and out just because they try to take all the money. And in my opinion, it's not about the money, so to speak. It's about the growth of the company, leading other people, guiding them to the paths, and the money will come.
I like that. Yeah. Simon Sinek, one of the guys I follow, he has a book called Leaders Eat Last.
Yes.
That's what you're talking about.
Yes. Yeah. I need to read that book because that's exactly right. The leaders eat last. We get leftovers.
That's good stuff. Well, Travis, first of all, I love your story and I love the way you kind of approach your business. What's one piece of advice you would give to somebody out there, maybe listening to this thinking, maybe I'd like to start a business. What's one piece of advice you would give to somebody like a new business owner, an entrepreneur here in West Virginia?
You gotta have that passion for one. That's first and foremost. That's the network of a foundation is you gotta have the passion and true care about what it is that you're going to do. And depending on what that is, whether it's a trade, you should get yourself a little experience in the trade, and when it's time and you're done, we're working for the boss, and you think you have what it takes, then you have to, without a doubt, you have to go all in. And when you go all in, you can't think that you're going to get rich. You got to explain to your wife that, well, we might have to, we might not going to be able to go out to eat this month.
Yeah. That's good.
It's
real, keeping it real.
It's real.
I like
tough
that.
times, and then there's great times.
Travis, do you have anything that you do each day that you think contributes to your success? Maybe it's a ritual that you do in the morning. Maybe it's something you have to tell yourself each day.
I think it just depends on the playlist I listen to in the shower. I don't necessarily have a ritual. I just kind of I try to be at peace until I get to my office.
Yeah.
I try to just keep my mind open and stay at peace. And when I hit my office, that dictates the rest of my day.
Yeah. That's cool.
I try not to look at my phone in the morning. When I wake up, I don't look and check my Facebook and see what all happened the night before. I ignore all that until I get to my office.
Yeah. That's cool. Very good. You have children. How many kids do you have?
I have 3 kids.
3 kids. When you think about your legacy and how they remember Dad in terms of your business, what would you like to leave as your legacy for the next generation?
Very simple. My dad always said it, still does, but he can't say much anymore. But work. When life has you down and you don't know what to do, you go work. That's it. It doesn't matter what work it is.
Yeah.
Dollar store, the mall, wherever. If you got to work.
Well, the human body was created to work. We think about that.
That's
it. The way we respond to injury or stress on our muscles or whatever, that's what we were created to do.
Yes.
Right?
You got to work.
And when you marry your passion, right, the thing that you're really fired up about with your work, then I believe that's kind of finding that groove of the work that you were created to do.
I agree.
And it sounds like that's what you're doing.
Yes.
I think that's pretty cool. In the era of technology, social media, Google and so forth, you have to deal with negativity sometimes. How do you deal with criticism?
I take it. I take it the best I can. I try to take all constructive criticism.
Mm-hmm. I
try to make it positive in my mind.
Yeah.
I don't like to get negative about situations. If it's once a year I got a job that just goes south, and there's just nothing I can do to make that customer happy.
I can't believe it. You have to always tell the customer, I have done this before.
Yes, yes. But there's always the customers that you just cannot make happy.
Yeah, exactly.
And those are the bad ones that you have to learn from.
Yeah, that's good.
Mentally, to be able to create positive in that. And at the end of the day, you're like, wisdom. Oh, I made John Doe smile.
Yeah,
at the end of the day.
Yeah, I just said that's wisdom, and that's coming from wise guys.
Right.
So hey, you are wise.
Yes.
I like that. That's very cool. Do you have somebody that you've maybe looked at as a mentor during your career, especially as it pertains to being an entrepreneur, a business owner?
I used to BNI a lot. Yeah. The business networking group that I was in for a long time. There was a lot of guys in there, including you, Scott Wardaball, Tony. A lot of those guys I looked up to and was maybe just curious. So I would just ask random questions and then take those answers and kind of convert those into my own way. And I would look up to them a lot on how they did it.
Cool.
And then I think in part of my team, like Houston and Travis both, I think back in the day they looked up to me as the leader. Well, now I'm kind of like looking up to them because they
kind of cool how that flips, right?
It's a beautiful thing. Yeah, it really is. So yeah, I think the BNI guys I looked up to a lot, and then today I look up to my partners. I look up to those guys. Yeah. They know a lot, and there's some contractors in town. Doug Groves and all those guys that I really look up to because they're the OGs. They're the ones that were building big houses back then and still are today.
Yeah.
So I really look up to those guys.
That's very cool.
And some of the younger guys, not to mention like Callan and Callan Construction and all those guys I went to high school with that we're on the same field.
You grew up in Morgantown?
I did.
That's cool.
Yeah. Well, from 13 and on.
Yeah.
Otherwise I was in Mineral County and Oak Garden.
That's cool. Awesome.
Digging up stones out of the woods.
Travis, we've covered a lot in this interview. Is there anything else you think that our listeners would be, should know about your story or wise guys that we haven't covered?
No, I think we've covered most all. I mean, to go into detail and say everything that I do, would be boring and would probably take another 45 minutes. But no, I mean, it's just if you need something and you think I may or may not do it, call me.
Yeah,
I'll answer.
How do folks get in touch with you?
Facebook's probably the easiest. Just search Wise Guys. You can search Wise Guys in Morgantown. You can search TV install in Morgantown. Whatever it is you're looking for, just type it into Google and in Morgantown, and you should be able to find us pretty easy.
Absolutely, and we'll make sure we have links to all that in the show notes, as well as all of our social media. We'll make sure we tag and identify all those channels for you, so we'll make it easy for folks to get in touch with you. And if you've got that TV that you got for the holidays, for Christmas or whatever, and you still haven't and got that thing hung on the wall, give Travis a call and he'll get you set up.
Takes about an hour.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, you'll hide the wires and everything.
Hour and 20 minutes hiding the wires.
I love it, man. Travis Lemon with Wise Guys Media. It's been a real honor to have you on the podcast. I really enjoyed our conversation. I think what you're doing is amazing. It's been fun to watch you over the years grow into the not only the entrepreneur, but the business leader that you are today. So I really think what you're doing is great. Keep up the great work.
Thank you.
Awesome, man.
We'd like to thank our partners, Huntington Bank, Highmark, West Virginia, Freedom Kia of Morgantown, and Storymaker, for helping to share these positive stories. If you'd like to become a sponsor of the Positively West Virginia podcast, visit positively.wv.com/sponsor.
Thanks for being here, too. Folks, that's it for another episode of Positively West Virginia. If you or someone you know would be a great guest on the show, drop us a line on our website at positively.wv.com. And of course, we appreciate your comments, your positive reviews, and sharing this content out there so we can get the great stories like Travis Lemon's out there seen by a lot of people, because there's a lot of really cool stuff happening in small business and entrepreneurship here in West Virginia. On behalf of our entire Positively West Virginia team, including our producer today, Mr. Dylan Sheldon behind the controls, I'm your host, Jim Matuga. Stay positive, West Virginia.